since we have the mechanicals for the most part sorted, it's time to start work on the interior. So I might get some flack for this, I might not. So the convertible top that came with this car is black, and I think black with a peanut butter interior is kind of weird. I'm not too much of a fan of it, so I've decided that I'm going to change the interior color to black. Now let me explain myself. The carpet in this car needs replaced anyway, so that's $200. To get a new top, that's another $200. So it's kind of a wash, but I think that the car with black interior will sell a little bit faster and a little bit better than with tan, just because I get requests for black interior all the time. People are always changing it to black, changing it to black. So I'm hoping the same thing will happen here. Today I'm just going to be focusing on the back part of the car. So I'll be taking all this carpet out, and I will also be painting this edge black all the way around. Why they didn't paint it, I don't know, but Cub Scouts are great, but not on a car. So that's going to be yanked out, and hopefully I'll be able to fit the convertible top frame today once I get everything in the back done. I have new frames for the doors and frame, new main compartment frame, all that stuff is all brand new, and we will put it in and to go step by step. I have all the new stuff over in a pile of boxes over there, including new carpet. So I have the newspaper and tape laid out so I can begin painting, and this is the last that you're going to see of that yellow. Gross. Out with the old and sort of in with the new. So I bought a black carpet kit for a 1981 Corvette, and they actually use the bottom body tub is from the 81. The reason why I know that is because it's beige or a tan color. That's the color this car originally was. But the carpet is actually fitting really, really well. I want to show you guys something. So they did a good job when they did the conversion, because this is the harness that would have gone up the B-pillar and then into the roof for the alarm for the T-tops, and then also the light, the dome light. What I plan on doing is running those wires out a hole in the carpet and then mounting the dome light basically in the back. That's how the convertibles were when they made them in the factory. Another thing I want to point out is that this edge is now painted all the way around, and it looks awesome. Much, much better than it used to look. The carpet install is actually coming along pretty well. I have the back all laid out. I have the hatch panels all done, new frames, new everything. They look awesome. Now what I don't have is the wheel wells or the front glued down yet. I'm going to let it sit for a couple days so it kind of spreads itself out. I did get the back light installed. We'll see if that works later. Right now there's no bulbs in any of the courtesy lights. But I pulled up the front carpet. Now, I thought this carpet was factory. It might be, but from the way it's been cut and the way it's been glued down, I just don't think it is. There is good news though. The floor pans are in really good shape. It's just a little surface rust right there. Nothing to worry about, super solid. The seatbelt mount is in really, really good shape. And so is the rest of the floor. That's a good thing, which means I can continue on the carpet install and start with the passenger side carpet. I believe I bought seat belts. They should be coming, but I will have to install seat belts as well, because for some reason they didn't install. Sometimes you're mad at Bubba and sometimes you're happy. So this is one of those times where I'm happy. So they wired in this stupid horn switch, and I'm like, oh man, they probably spliced a whole bunch of stuff up and ruined a lot of things in order to get the horn to work. But no, they just put in a completely separate, by itself horn system. So you have horn button here, you have this yellow wire that I already pulled out, this yellow wire that went to the horn right there, and then this I guess goes to ground somewhere. Then the yellow wire goes up in the dash, up underneath to this Bubba-ness of this relay, and this I'm assuming went to power at one point, and then this blue wire comes up through here and then goes to the front to the horns. And luckily for me, it's very easy to take out. because all I have to do now is remove that, don't worry about the rest of it, and then fix the horn like should have been fixed anyway. With all of this stuff removed, we can actually dye the dash. So I have it all set up, all taped off and ready to go. Also, we'll do the column, and then I'll move on to doing some of this stuff today. I always start using this stuff. Grease and wax remover. So this has all been wiped down, it's ready to go. And then I use my dye from Corvette America. Yes, this might seem really extreme, but honestly, I know this car is going to look so much better in black. I think it will sell better. So I'll get to spraying. It's actually almost going to be 69 degrees today, almost one of the last days of November. And perfect temperature to dye. Alright, look at this dash. It's looking awesome. So, one thing I want to do before I put everything else together is figure out the heater core. So when I got the car, the heater core is bypassed. Usually, when that's the case, that means that it leaks and it's bad. And so I'm halfway done with that job with everything out of the dash. I'm not going to pull that box, that heater box under the dash and replace the heater core if I don't have to. So what I've done is I have attached the heater lines to the engine and the water pump where they're supposed to go. I filled it up with water, and we are going to run it, get it hot, see if it leaks. If it leaks, I'll replace the heater core. If it doesn't, well, I'm one step ahead and I can cross something else off the list. Remember that little light that I installed inside? Check it out. It works like it's supposed to. It's awesome. This car is awesome. It starts right up and it sounds great. So I'm going to wait for the coolant to get hot and see what happens in my passenger side floorboard. Alright, the car is up to temperature. The heater hoses are hot, so I touched both of them. This one and this one. So with that being said, we come in here. I don't see any drips or anything like that at all. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to let it cool a little bit. Then I'm going to top off the cooling system and run it again. Excuse the mess, but I got interior parts everywhere. But it's coming along really, really well. The dash is in. I have this panel dyed and all done. And I have this panel right here pretty much all the way done. I might do one more go around on the carpet, but you see this panel, factory black. This panel is dyed. They look pretty similar. One thing I do want to show you is that I did end up fixing the interior lights. So when I got the car, one of the switches in the door jamb was broken, but I got them all to work now. So if I open up the door, we have one light, two lights in the front, and then the one I added in the back. So there's a delay box timer on this, so if I shut the door, it's not going to turn them off automatically, but that's supposedly one of the fancy things that Corvette did. But I had to, I don't know where I put it. So I had to replace this switch because it was broken, and then I had to reconnect that switch, and they work just fine. So I'm super happy with that. The couple more things I'm going to do while I'm down in the dash before I put all this back together. I have to wire up a speaker. I have to fix this little light for the glove box, and then other than that, that should be about it. So little by little, it's definitely coming together, and I'm liking it more and more every time. If you ever wondered why interior work is so tedious, this is why. So there's a lot of while I'm at it type things. So I had to install this lower vent. I had to install this ducting that goes behind it. I figured while I was there, I'd take out this really crap speaker that I got. They're Jensen's from who knows when. And then I have brand new Infinity speakers. I actually had these speakers in my stash, so it didn't really cost me anything. But now, since I'm done with that, then I can go ahead and put the glove box insert in it and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm finally done with one side of the dash, and I can move on to the other side. Alright, here's the radio wired up with my one speaker. So I chose this radio because when it's on, not so much. But let's say I turn it off. You know what? kind of looks like a stock radio. Obviously the digital doesn't, but you know, if you look at it from far away, it's black, it's got a screen in the middle and two knobs on the side that are silver. So, but it's cool because it does all the other stuff. I mean, you can take SD cards and auxiliary and USB and all that other kind of stuff. So it was cheap, it fits, it looks good. I like it. For the last part of the interior, I have brand new foam and brand new seat covers. And Chopstick, he's going to help me out. Or not. What do you think, Chopstick? Yeah? Good stuff? And there he goes. There goes my health. Alright. So, you can pay an extra like $100 to get these mounted for you, and after doing one set, I kind of wish I had. The problem is, between the foam and the covers, you're looking at like $700. They're very, very expensive. I thought I'd save some money by doing it myself. After doing one, maybe should have spent it. But the way these work is there's these little tubes on the back of the seat cover, and you put metal wires that are the length of the tubes. And then from there, you attach it to the foam via what are called hog rings. Let me grab some of those for you guys. So this is what a hog ring looks like. Basically, you take these pliers and you crimp it together where there's a metal bar here and a metal bar here. You crimp them together and it basically pulls it down across this middle, and then from there you wrap it up around the foam and then do the same thing on the back. It's super tedious work, and I'm not too good at it, but it'll get done, and then we'll be able to put them in the car. Here's a quick demonstration of how these hog rings work. So there's a metal bar inside of this part of the fabric, and basically, see if I can do this one hand, you just grab underneath like that, and then you close the hog ring around that, like that, whoop, and then it just kind of pulls the fabric tight against this bar. So you do that all the way around, and the top will be done. And here is the finished product. So all these wrinkles in the corners, if you just hit it with a hair dryer, usually you can get those to come out. I know heat and use will definitely help. But yeah, I did that myself. I'm not perfect, definitely not interior guy or upholstery guy, but it looks really, really good. Well, they aren't perfect, but they're new, and they're 4-inch bolsters, and they're going to feel awesome when you sit on them. So this is the second time I've ever done upholstery like this before. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it. We'll see, but they're going to look awesome in the car. Here's a good outside view with the top down of the interior. It's a little dusty just because it's black and I live in the country and it's impossible to keep clean. But dyed door panels, new carpet, dyed dash, fixed steering wheel, dyed column, new center console, new floor mats, new seats, new sun visors. There it is. Those seats will eventually in time become a little bit better looking. They're a little wrinkly now, but that's okay. Here in the back, everything's new. Here's a brand new convertible top for it. So you can put that in when you need it. But yeah, it's much better than peanut butter in my opinion.